Let's now focus on how to create a more advanced version of an autoresponder. As we already know, the simplest version can be built with just 2 automation modules. But you can adjust the autoresponder to your needs by sending different messages to new anonymous visitors and different ones to your returning users. You can send autoresponder messages in different languages, depending on the browser language of a user, or personalize the content of those messages, for example, by adding the user's names. There are many options here and the possibilities are really limitless. Let's discuss a few of the ideas then. You can of course create the automation yourself from scratch, but the easiest way to create it is to use our predefined automation template. You can access all our templates by clicking this box on the top left-hand side. I want a simple autoresponder template. Here we go, and I'm selecting it. So now we see that it's composed of 4 modules. Our automation templates are very useful and fully adjustable, so you can often use them as a starting point and then adjust the automation to your business needs. In the first module, incoming message, I need to select the contact type autoresponder will respond to, and I'm selecting chat here. In the second field, you can specify the time in seconds that must elapse since the user last message to activate the automation. In other words, if you set it to 180 seconds, when a user sends an incoming message, the app will check how much time has elapsed since the previous message to you. If it was more than 180 seconds ago, the automation will be triggered. If less than 180 seconds ago, it won't. Good practice on using this elapsed time option is related to an automation's timing. As you already know, while saving an automation, you need to specify timing for it. If you decide your autoresponder should work each time a condition is met, set this time to more than 0, for example 180 seconds. Thanks to it, if a user sends many messages one after another, and we all know it's very popular nowadays, the system won't send as many autoresponder replies, but will only send one. If you, however, set the automation timing to max once per day, you can ignore that field and put 0 here, as the reply will be sent only once per day anyway. I'm going for that second option. Then let's set the delay, and I'm setting it to 60 seconds. Thanks to it, the whole automation process has a bit more natural feel from the user's perspective. This is the time that will pass from triggering the automation, so in this case receiving the message from a user, to the next module. In the third module, you specify how much back in the past the app checks if any agent has responded. It is very useful, as thanks to it, you will be sure that the autoresponder message is not sent if the reply has already been sent by an agent, for example, through a user.com mobile app. Some agents are active even after hours. For this function to work perfectly, it's important to set the delay in the second module and the time for checking back whether an agent responded to the same number. So I'm setting them both to 60 seconds. Okay, let's make a quick recap. So we have the automation trigger incoming message and active for incoming chat messages, the delay set to 60 seconds, and the agent responded module set as well to 60 seconds so that the autoresponder won't work if an agent has quickly responded. And the next thing we need is the send a chat message one, where I type in the message that will be sent to users via autoresponder. But before doing that, I will add one more module that will be useful here. I mean filters. I want to send a slightly different autoresponder message to anonymous visitors and to those whose email addresses I already have. So I'm dragging and dropping filters module and setting condition to email is unknown And when this condition is met, so for all anonymous users, I will send one version of the message. Then decide on a conversation to appear as a new thread or in the last active conversation. I will go for the second option. Now select the message type and author. Now, if filtering condition is not met, so to all users whose emails I already have, I will send the other message. I also need to specify days and time an autoresponder should be active. Similarly to the simple autoresponder, if you want it to be active also on weekends all day long, you need to add time modules at the beginning. So I'm adding them and specifying details, assuming that my working hours are 8 a.m. 4 p.m. I'm saving the automation and, as said, setting the timing to max once per day. So let's test it now. It's already after 4 p.m. and a new user enters my website. He sends a short chat message and, as I have an email widget prompt active in my chat, it appeared here at first. If an agent doesn't respond, after 60 seconds, also an autoresponder message pops up. Thanks to it, you can gather information about new visitors, even when you don't work at the moment. Then let's see how it works for users whose emails I already have. And we see that the other version of message pops up. Of course, a returning customer whose emails you already have won't see the email prompt, just the second autoresponder message. Let's now say I want to modify my autoresponder, and as my core markets are Latin America and Europe, I want to send messages in 3 language versions: English, Spanish, and Portuguese, depending on the browser language of a user. I need to add another filters module, and if the language condition for Spanish is met, I need to put browser language code here. I will check whether users are anonymous or with email addresses and send messages in Spanish to them. If the language is not Spanish, I will put the next filters module and check for Portuguese. If the condition is met, I will send messages in Portuguese, so I need to create the same set of modules in Portuguese. And if not, so to all users whose first language is not Spanish nor Portuguese, I'm gonna send messages in English. I need to prepare the third set of modules for English language. Let's now assume a Spanish-speaking visitor enters my site with browser language set to Spanish. And now we see that the Spanish message has been sent. Now I would like to personalize the messages I send to users. Let's resign from different language versions at the moment and get back to our first autoresponder in English so that it's easier to follow the example. What I need to do is to modify a message in the send a chat message module for non-anonymous users, and in the content, use a snippet tag for name. You can use a receiver's first name by selecting it right here. As simple as that. It's the most straightforward one you can use, but there are many super examples of other snippet tags. You can find some inspiration by going to Tools and Snippet Tags. So I'm back in the automation, saving and enabling it, and let's try it out. Assume Amanda Smith enters my website, and after submitting a short message, she receives a personalized message as auto-response. There are of course much more options of adjusting autoresponder to your business needs. You can, for example, send different messages to different client segments. To do it, you can use a custom attribute VIP client, and if it's true, a user will get another message than all non-VIP clients. Possibilities here are limited only by your creativity. So we've covered a few examples of advanced autoresponder. Thanks for listening.